light skin, and I'm great in bed. It has been 6 months since I dated, so I would love to find someone. I'm currently working and eager to meet. I haven't tried online dating, though lots of success stories got my attention. I'm optimistic it will work fine for me. I want a guy good in bed, since it's a while since I was shagged. I'm very hot, and so the man should be great in bed, as I want him to be my bed buddy. And if he gives me a good loving, we will meet regularly. The guy should be tall, dark, and good looking. He should be also kind, full of life and a joy to stay with. Hope he gives me after. Cheers. hope you're safe and well out there, because I've had bad knees and bad days where I struggle to get upstairs, which is when I suffer from anxiety and simply can't deal with people. And in fact, sometimes I get so confused when trying to understand all kinds of information that I've decided to self-quarantine and make myself unavailable on the phone. So please let me know if you get this. I've just been watching The Deer Hunter for the first time on the telly, and it reminds me how I used to think the lads I grew up with, who I loved platonically, who were never really fitted in with, were like the blokes portrayed in The Deer Hunter. Me and Jeff and Gary and Gord and Stevie and Trev. But we weren't really like those blokes from Pittsburgh, the Vietnam vets in The Deer Hunter at all. So I didn't get to be Christopher Walken, who I dreamed about because he was mystical and beautiful, and I used to jack off about him, though I kept all that sort of stuff secret because it was supposed to be Debbie Harry that we all fancied back then. But I never fancied her, or all the wonderful lasses we grew up with, like Deborah and Jackie and Leslie and Michelle and Sharon, who never hit anybody and were always prepared to talk nicely to me because I never tried to nail them because I wanted to be their friend, or maybe even one of them. But it didn't happen, couldn't happen, so I got away geographically. But that was worse, because I was lonely and didn't know how to behave like an adult. So I just read and drank and smoked drugs with the music on too loud. And then I fooled myself into coming back, pretending I could be like everyone else. But I never have been happy, except when I was away and feeling happier, which is sad because that's why I never did what I wanted to do and write books or act, and now it's too late. And I might have stomach or bladder cancer, which is sad and no fucking good really. But at least it will make the type of people who prefer Hank Marvin's version of Cavatina laugh when they take their dog out when they are killing things, and I hope they kill me.
Doing once I did before. A few bucks to tell. Don't know the school. I read the show. Just the same. Doing once I did
convicted in 75, successfully appealed in 1976. Holland Avenue, out the door, turn left at Beeley Crescent, up to junction with Mariners Lane, left to junction with Tynemouth Road, turn right, cross the street, take a left down Tannock Bank, down the hill to Union Road and along Bell Street, Little Street, Clyde Street, past the ferry landing at Whitehall Quay, walk. Hot morning, early start, hard graft, shovels and barrows, rakes and piles, diggers and brooms, sweat, dirt, dust. New gaffer, Kenny Woodhouse, told the bastard. On his number like Bonaparte and horseback, judging you, digging you, slagging you. Shame, embarrassment, anger. All morning, tired and hungry, thirsty and angry. Clog off for your faith at open time. Take a half day, straight on the pot. Walk. Gaffer's eyes burning in your back as you head up Borough Road along Savile Street. The Globe, the Ballarat, the Mariners, the Colin Campbell. That's up Rudyard Street, the Stanley and the Neville, down the Annex and the Garrett, down Tynemouth Road and the Victoria, the Albert and the Coburg. Finally the lodge before 3 o'clock stop tap. Then you head home. Walk. Bladder bursting, piss up the wall, more than 2 shakes and it's a wank. You should have gone straight home. Walk, run! Shields' body was found among reeds on the bank of the River Tyne, close to his home at Notts Flats. Gary, a fun-loving child who adored animals, had been happily playing football near his home the day but his body was found. He had been sexually assaulted before the killer suffocated him. Police launched a search after Gary failed to return home for tea. Later that night, police received an anonymous phone call from a man who said that he had seen a body just like a torso, lying in shrubs. The caller gave the name of a known sex offender as a suspect, but also an address that was later found to be false. When police reached the telephone box minutes later, no one was there. Acting on a tip-off from his supervisor, police arrested mentally unstable Paul Hales, who had boasted to workmates of making an incriminating call to police on the night young Gary's body was found. Having initially been questioned on suspicion of wasting police time, Hales quickly confessed to Gary's murder, though he later retracted this on legal advice and pleaded not guilty at his trial. Despite the best efforts of the defence, Hales, a coal yard worker from Tynemouth, was convicted of manslaughter through diminished responsibility following a long trial in February 1975. This was not the end of the story, as in May 76, Hales was sensationally acquitted by the Court of Appeal after a man called Kenneth Woodhouse, a convicted paedophile and former workmate of Hales, who was on remand for sex offences against children, confessed to Gary's murder to a cellmate in September 75. Judges said Hales' conviction had to be overturned because it was inconceivable that any jury would convict him after hearing Woodhouse's comprehensive admission of guilt. Yet no charges were ever brought against Woodhouse, who denied his confession, said by detectives to contain intimate details connected to the murder, was anything other than fantasy. Additionally, Woodhouse's cellmate retracted his statement only days after Hales was released. Hence, the true killer is yet to be identified. 21, an ex-stripper and a prostitute, was stabbed to death at her flat on Kidderminster Road in Sunderland. She was last seen alive on Friday the 16th of May 1986 when she told a friend she was hosting a client at lunchtime that day. Her body was found a week later after her sister, who was living in Sussex, raised concerns that Julie wasn't picking up her phone. Police forced entry and were met by a scene of human carnage. A post-mortem revealed Julie had died from shock. She had been stabbed countless times and reportedly sustained other injuries that are too graphic to recount. Walk for about 7 minutes, 0.3 miles. Use caution. Bolton Avenue, out the door. Turn left on Bidley Crescent. Up the junction of Mariners Lane. Left the junction of Tynemouth Road. Turn right. Head east towards Frank Place. Turn right at Frank Place. Turn right at Preston Road. Continue on the Church Way. Turn right onto West Percy Street. Turn left onto Niles Street. Turn right onto Railway Terrace. Turn left onto Rudyard Street. Destiny will be on the left. Rudyard Street, bus number 11, Frodo Street, Howden Road, Thrift Street, Penman Place, Smith Park, Earl Grey Way, Hayhole Road, Depot Entrance, Howard Street, St. Court, Jarrow, Albert Road, Park Road, Beanburn Road, Social Club, Field Terrace, Butchers Bridge Road, York Avenue, Pension View, Valley View, Langley Terrace, Roman Road, Carclose Lane, Holton Crescent, Trent Avenue, Headland Lane, Westview, Front Street, North Road, Headland House, Bolton Drive, St Nicholas Road, Gateshead Terrace. Get off the bus! Turn east towards St Nicholas's Road. Turn right into Hilton Lane. Turn left onto Kidderminster Road. Walk! Julie used to advertise for customers in contact magazines. She kept diaries, lots of them, filled with the names of men who paid her for sex. Police later found those diaries and subsequently interviewed over 6,000 people from around the country, but the trail ran cold. If it was a client who killed her, the police had a ready-made register of potential suspects in their hands. But that created its own problems. The list would lead police into a much more far-ranging investigation than might have originally expected. 3 males were arrested, but all were released without charge. A well-built man in his 60s, known as Kenny, who visited Julie at around the time of her death, has never been traced. Neither has a young man from North Tyneside who had tried to contact her 2 days before Julie was killed.